Hello everyone, my name is Mario for Cost Spirit and welcome to the channel. As you guys can see, I'm starting to get a little more advanced with the technology. So maybe that works good for this video here because we're going to be talking about Ascension. So I'm ascending to a higher level of video making. So, you know what, little bit at a time, step by step, we get better, we improve. So that's really what's important at the end of the day. And you know what? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the ascension process, and we're going to talk about the adults are resisting God's ascension plan, ascension process, right? So I'm sure you guys have been looking around the world and seeing what's been going on. There's a lot of madness, a lot of chaos, a lot of darkness, right? Why do we get that? Okay? We get that because the adults on this planet are not ascending to a higher level of consciousness. God asked his children, and I mean the adult children, to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. What are they doing? They're resisting. They're resisting the Maker's desire. They're resisting their God's desire. So what happens? Even though God gave you free will, doesn't mean you have free will to do whatever you want without any consequences. If you choose not to obey the Father, not to obey nature, not to obey the universe, not to obey the ascension process, what happens? Chaos, okay? Chaos on the planet between countries, chaos in your families, in your workplace, in your cities, on your streets, everywhere. I talked about it in the other videos. Listen, guys, no one has a choice. Ascension is going to happen regardless if you like it or not. So if you want to make it easier on yourself, it's better to embrace it and to consciously get involved. If you choose not to consciously get involved, that's your choice, but there will be consequences, okay? Not everybody's going to make your choice. A lot of people, a lot of God's children, and I'm talking about the adults right now, because I know a lot of adults like to push this on children, right? Their coping mechanism is to not do what their God is telling them and blame kids for this. So they like to blame children for this. What do they do in this process of blaming children? Maybe they're not consciously blaming them, but what are they doing with their energy? What are they doing to kids? Are they showing a good example? Are they teaching to do the will of the Father, do the will of the Creator, do the will of God, right? Or are they trying to capture little children and traffic them around the world? Okay? This Operation Underground Railroad, this group of people going around the world saving little kids. Okay? Tim Ballard said the other day, if you ask the people today about back in the slavery days, back in the days of Lincoln and all that, what would you do? People would say, well, I would do this, I would do that. He's like, well, here's your opportunity right now to do it, because right now slavery is higher than it's ever been, even more than when it was legal. So right now, here's your opportunity to do something about it. Yet people with all the information they got, because the internet has lots of information, with everything they got, a lot more than they had back in the day of Lincoln and all that, they're not doing I won't say they're not doing anything, but most people are doing minimal. They could be doing a lot more than what they're doing, and they're choosing not to. Why? Because they don't want to do the will of the Father. The Creator, God, the universe, the light source, whatever you want to call him, he's asking everybody to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. Allowing these kids to stay in captivity, allowing these kids to see bad examples, as what I'm witnessing with a lot of adults. I live here in Canada. I'm watching it here. I'm watching it all over the world. Okay, by teaching bad examples to children, you're not doing the will of the Father. Okay, so this is again directed towards adults. If you don't want to pick up your game, that's your choice. But you can't stop anybody else. You can't control anybody else. You could do a coping mechanism and think that you are, but you're not. At the end of the day, we were all going to ascend. You're going to ascend, but you're going to do it with much pain and much sorrow. So my advice is, do yourself a favor, jump on board, start doing your job as an adult. Stop pushing this on the little children, okay? Even at a financial level, how these kids growing up supposed to deal with the financial system the way it is? They're not gonna be able to deal with it. So we can see this at so many levels. But again, adults have to do their job. If not, they will pay the consequences. It's just the way it is. You don't want to do it. You don't want to listen to your creator. Consequences come with that. So it's your choice. But anyways, we'll leave it there. Hopefully, you guys are on board and doing your best. Remember, you may not be doing exactly the way you need to be doing. As long as you're on board, that's all that matters. This is all a process. This is all a growing experience. But if you're not on board, it's going to be very painful. The ascension is going to be very painful for you. So, anyways, I'm going to leave it there. You know what I mean? Have a nice day. Like I said, get on board. You use the tools that's out there: meditation, prayer, exercise. Focus on your diet. Focus on your diet, your eating, your health. And again, adults, do your job, because it's only good. If you're suffering now because you're afraid to ascend, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to, and it's going to keep piling on top until you actually decide to ascend, to consciously get involved. You are going to ascend, but it's going to be very painful until you actually decide to consciously get involved. So anyways, we're going to leave it there. Have a pleasant day, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.